Hello everyone, this is Lenny from Code with Lenny Len, and in this 9th tutorial I'm going to show you how we are going to make our paddle move progressively. As you can remember from our last tutorial, we could press up arrow key, down arrow key, move the paddle up and down, but we'll have to press those keys simultaneously so that the paddle can move up and down. Well, to fix that we need to make our game more user-friendly by making the paddles move progressively once the player presses or holds a button. So to do that, we're going to fix this problem now, and we're going to use maybe variables. Let's see how we're going to tackle that, and without further ado, let's get started. So for us to move our player paddle X and Y, we'll need a variable that we'll need to add to each and every time the user is pressing the button. So if I press a button, I think you should have a variable that starts at zeros, and the more you press, the higher the number increases or something. So let's try that. I'll just say play paddle underscore, okay, not underscore, move will be equal to 0. Okay, so let's see. So instead of using play pad X and Y or something, we're just going to say play pad move is equal to, now instead of keeping on increasing or decreasing, we are going to put -10. So this means it will we just see, let's see how this is going to work out for us. Play pad move, instead of plus equal 10, we just put it to +10. So because it's a loop, and remember it's a loop, it will always do these actions. It will always -10, it will always add to 10. And for us to change or show an increase in the player pad Y position, we need to tell it that you need to follow the play pad move. And to do this, we say play pad Y plus equals what? So play pad Y plus equals play pad move. So once again, let me explain this from the top. We declared a variable and we set it equal to 0. It is play pad move. Oh, not play paddle, let me just say play pad move. And what this does is just an empty variable containing 0, and in the event loop we use the play pad move. So when you press key up, the play pad move should be -10. Now it shifts from 0 to -10. You know how Python works. You declare a variable, then the moment you declare that, or you change the variable's value after the declaration, it automatically follows the new value that you gave it. So right now when you press key up, it's going to be -10, and when you come here to this place where we have the play pad Y plus equals play pad move, so it's always going to be using -10, and so the moment you press that key up, it will always go to -10. That's going up. It should always move up by 10 pixels, but this time, because there are no breaks, it's going to go progressively, and I hope that works. So Control S F5. So we have a window, so let me try to move up. Oh, and it shoots up, down, shoots down, up, down, up, down. So in your computer, I expect this to be much faster. You know, the frame rate at which the screen recorder is recording the screen is maybe 20, and the game is moving at the computer's what is it called, at the computer's frame rate. So this is why you get that slow laggy feeling when you're watching this video. You see my video or my game going slowish, laggishly, lazily, but I promise you everything is good on mine, and it should be good on yours when you play it. Maybe next time I'm going to look for a better screen recorder or up my refresh rate or something. But if you did everything correctly, you should get a paddle that's zooming in and out of the screen when you press up and down button. So another challenge is the borders. You can see now it's disappeared out of the screen. Maybe press button down to bring it back and it shoots back down. So let's fix the speed. I think that speed was much high and it needs some fixing. So let's head back to our script, and right now I'm going to introduce something called FPS. What is FPS? FPS is frames per second. So you're dictating how many frames this game should be flipped every single second. As I told you how graphics work, they're just multiple frames or pages, as we like to put it, flipped many times per second, and in this case it's going very fast. It's using the computer's original frame per second, and that's too fast for a game. We need something like 30 or 40. And to do FPS in Pygame, you just assign a variable. I'll call it clock. Most people use clock, so you can go with clock, and it is usually pygame dot time dot clock. So we have our clock variable, and to make this effective, just come after the flip update. You just say clock dot tick and the number of frames per second. So for now I'll put 30 or 20 or 25. This is what happens when you're making a game, maybe a simple 2D game, no much graphics or something, just a simple game. You're going to want to use between 20 and 30 frames per second. If you're making maybe a high-end advanced 2D or 3D game, simple 3D or advanced 2D game, you're going to want to use maybe between 40 and 60 frames per second. But if you're playing high-end action games like Modern Warfare, Call of Duty, maybe it's things like Grand Theft Auto, GTA, Need for Speed, such games use a frame rate that can even reach to 120. But for our game we don't need this much speeds. These are extreme speeds. For simple 2D games we are gonna use 20 to 30. So let's tweak it and see. So F5 to run. So let's wait. So here we are, no error. Let's see. Okay, sorry, my window is going off. So if I go up, oh yeah, right now it's going at a much slower speed and it's going on while still going out of the window. We have no borders, but for the moment at least it's at a much better speed. I think 30 is good for now. Maybe we'll be changed in the future to 25 or something, or maybe 35, depending on our user specifications, depending on newer specifications, whatever idea I'll have at that time. But for now, let's review what we've learned. As you can see, we came back here and added movement for our player paddle, and we did this by adding a variable which has 0 initially, but when you press a key, that's the up key, it assigns that variable to -10. And so when that is evaluated here in our logic, now this is kind of logic, we're starting to do logic, playpad y plus equals playpad move, so it will use the playpad move, which is -10, and it will always use -10 to be adding the playpad y position -10, -10, -10, so that it will always be a progressive movement. And we can do the same still for going down. You use +10, and when this is evaluated down here, it will always move +10, +10, +10. That's 10 pixels. You can change these values according to your needs or according to your screen size. Maybe you have a bigger screen or something, but you know how to move things around. We'll cover more about movement extensively later, but for now you know how to move. And I've introduced something called FPS. That's you assign a clock object, pygame.time.capital clock, that's capital C, then LOCK in small caps, and you assign that clock.tick, and we'll talk more about FPS in the next video. But as for now, stay tuned and thanks for watching.